Hey, it's Coach Chase here. Every day my face seems to get a little bit weaker and a little bit weaker. So I don't know how much time I have to verbalize what I want to say. Um, After a couple of different meetings with friends of mine about certain issues that I have with family members or other friendships that have went away in the past, I get a lot of conversations about let go. Now this is on from how they explained it for a number of different people. This actually makes a lot of sense on their side of the equation. But on my side of the equation, things are a little bit different. As I said in a previous video, when you're in a terminally ill situation, a lot of people will leave your life that's been with you for a very long time, decades even, maybe your whole life. And other people who you had no idea about, maybe you haven't seen them in 10 years or 15 years or 17 years, such in my case, will enter your life. What ends up happening when that takes place is that those people, those acquaintances are now becoming your friends. You have to catch them up with everything. So therefore, you have to relive the past over and over again, whether you want to or not. So it is easy to say, oh, let that go, or let this go, or let these things go. But once you have to then verbalize and talk about what has been taking place in your life outside of your health when it comes to relationships with others, you then have to relive the past of which could be very painful for some people. So one thing I would say when you're talking to someone with a terminally ill disease, if you have a friend or family like this, is not to make it seem so easy. Because, on all honesty, letting go of the past is actually one of the hardest things you can do. I mean, you have people who are married right now with children to their spouse who still have baggage from a previous relationship. Okay? So, when you're dealing with a lot of different health issues, it's actually like just another daunting task that I have to do to let go of certain people. Now, by and large, I have done that. There are some people who I just said, you know what, this is not going to work out anymore. There are other people, however, who I would like to have some sort of closure with or a discussion with. I'm okay if these things do not happen, but I'm just saying this for those who may not have the same amount of tranquility as I do facing death, that just simply saying let go is actually a little bit cryptic for us because it's kind of like letting go just means I'm losing something. That's all that really means. You know, case in point, when I was when things were getting really bad back in February, and I was feeling a lot of pain. Uh, I was taking this clinical trial medication in which made me urinate a lot. And one night I went to bed, cleaned up, went back to sleep, then went to bed again as soon as I woke up. And I really felt I was losing my functions. And at that point, I said, you know what? I can't control my life. I want to control my death. And so I almost actually tried to start myself on a cocaine habit. Luckily, I kicked out of it within a couple of days and I was doing all right. But it's just, I just need to bring that up as an example is that when you're saying, when someone is losing, which can potentially be their life or at least their livelihood, the idea of letting go is actually a lot more painful for us. So it's something that if you're going to have someone, a friend or a family who is facing a terminally ill disease, it's something I think you would like to like approach a little with a little more tact. Now, for those people who I just had a conversation with, because like I said, this is not going. I don't say this, but this is not trying to be viral or anything like that. So I know that my close friends who actually had these conversations with me personally recently do not take this as me saying like, oh, you're dumb. No, you're absolutely right on your side of the equation. But what I'm saying is what's taking place on my side of the equation. That's all. I really feel as though if you're having issues with certain people that you don't have closure with, you need to rethink a lot about what was said during the times of that you didn't like with said person trying to have closure with. So for me personally, I had a lot of issues with someone saying they don't give a damn, they don't give a fuck. Um, they would say these things daily, repeatedly. And so when I look back at it, I feel as though like maybe I'm done because They chanted this every day, and I just did not listen. You have to realize that if you're one of these people that does this, you have to realize this. When you keep chanting about how much you don't care, it's not like you're saving up um, for some big event to take place for you to care about. It's not like a video game special move. It's caring about someone else is it's something you have to kind of do daily. Caring about what's going on in the world is something you have to do daily. It's not something where you don't care, you don't care. Days go by, weeks go by, months go by, years go by, and then something finally takes place that is significant to you. It's not like you saved it up. It's not like you're saved gold and now it's appreciated. Now you have even more willpower to care about whatever it is that is troubling you. Caring about other people is something that you have to do kind of daily. Be mindful of people. Be very mindful of people who tell you that they like um, pets over people. Be very mindful of that because it's just like that just tells me that they don't like people with other different opinions. That's all it is. It's actually to me is a sign of a very psychologically weak person because it's 7 billion people here. People complain all the time. There's too many people. Yet no one can really connect with others. So that's a paradox right there. When you're talking about like, oh yeah, animals over people, you're also just saying that you don't like other people's opinions. That's all that is. So those are my words for advice to you guys. I'm doing these things as once I'm able to make my words easily digestible. I have a lot to say about Asia and my times in Korea, Vietnam, China, and stuff like that. But the problem that I'm having right now is that I don't want to use words or anything like that will come across as disrespectful to their culture. Because right now, it's like when I look at it, it's like I'm just kind of bitching a whole lot. But I think I do have a lot to say that can help others, both there and those who are planning to travel abroad, with whatever it is they're trying to accomplish and have, an interesting and peaceful experience out overseas. I'm not going to get into all that right now because I'm trying to keep these things a little bit concise. I'm opening up a little bit too much at this point. So I'll just end it here. Guys, take care.